Right, so we're going to now go again into the practical aspects of your follow up, and I want to just give you some examples of things that you can do to follow up with people. As I said in the last lesson, you want to be following up consistently. I mean, that's the whole point of the thing. You want to always be on the mind of your customers. You want your relationships to always be growing. You want them to become loyal customers, and it is by your follow-up. So follow-up is not something complicated. These simple actions include things like calls or texts, just a call. You can call to say, I'm just calling to touch base with you. How are you, and how are things going with you? If you've built a rapport with the person, then that would be a good opportunity to, you know, talk about something that you know is important to them. How are your kids? How are their exams? How was their, basketball game? Have they left for uni? How is your roof? Is it still leaking? That kind of thing. So um follow up, just a call that is going to take you 1 or 2 minutes, and just to say hello, how are you, how you're doing, and that kind of thing. you know and then, if it could also be a follow up thing to, if you've had a meeting or it was nice meeting you um today. Just remember, whenever you need a cake, these are the kind of cakes I make, and then you tell them what your message is, that you make cakes for moms. Or so, if they know of anybody, or if they still, or if they are, when they're ready to order their cake, they can get in touch with you. These are your details, that kind of thing. It was nice meeting you. um Bye, that kind of thing. So um those kind of things, calls or texts. And emails, same thing, depending on what you're selling. But for cakes, you know, maybe you might want to send them your brochure, or, it was nice meeting you. Um, we met at this party and you said you were interested in a cake. Here is a link to my website, or here is a link to my brochure, or here are some pictures of my cakes, or that kind of thing. And then you just keep in touch by email. You can send gifts. Now, obviously, these follow up actions would work for different people for different reasons. That's why in the last lesson we talked about your prospects. How you're going to treat your prospects will be different from how you treat your brand new customers, and different from how you treat your lifelong customers. It's just like the same in relationships. How you treat someone that you're just getting to know, or putting your best foot forward. How you treat your new bride, if you just got married. And then even the building a strong marriage by your love, allowing your love to mature. So the same thing in relationships is the same thing. You don't do the same thing with everybody, but something like giving gifts would work well for people, maybe people that have been your long-term customers. They bought from you many times, they've given you referrals and all that. It's very appropriate to send gifts, flowers, or whatever to those kind of people. you know um Thank you notes and cards. That is one thing that, if I give you 12 or 20 different actions, this must be among them. Always, thank you is a very powerful thing. Sending someone a thank you note or a thank you card to say, it was nice talking with you. I mean, when you meet with people, every time, you're not just meeting to sell a cake. Yeah, you're meeting to develop the relationship. You're meeting to get to know somebody. You're meeting, maybe you have you're trying to offer them some help, or they're helping you with something else. Or it's just, to have fun together. So send thank you notes, thank you cards, as often as possible, when appropriate. And follow up. One thing about follow up is that you want to do it. That's why it's called follow up. You want to do it in a timely manner as well. So you're not just randomly sending a thank you note. You do it soon after the time that the person has done whatever it is that they did for you. You don't wait for weeks and months to pass before you say, oh, just wanted to say thank you. You know, if for instance somebody makes a referral to you, and you get the referral, maybe you deliver the cake, you send a thank you note. You can send a, and for gifts as well, you can just randomly send somebody a box of cupcakes. So just thinking about you, thank you so much for what you did. And I know that your kids have their soccer game today. Here's a box of cupcakes for you guys to enjoy. Or I know you just go back from holiday. Whatever you know about people, or whatever you get to know about people as you get to know them, you keep in touch. You follow up. You make yourself memorable to them with these kind of things. Also, when I talk about visits, I'm talking about, like, if appropriate, again, paying someone a visit, or um, going out for a coffee with them, saying, oh, I just want to ask your advice about something, not a consultation to sell something to them, but more like, I just want to ask your advice about something. Can I have a coffee, or can you come for a coffee, or can we get a coffee together and just sit down and have a chat, that kind of thing. So again, as needed, as appropriate, this is very important. During when you have a cake order, you want to be in touch with the people, especially with the if it's like a wedding cake, or something that is not like next week, or in a few days time. You want to keep them updated about what's going on and everything, and just touch base with them. Like, for instance, if a bride comes, she's made her order, she's paid her deposit, she's chosen her design and everything. you know a few, once in a while, depending on the time frame, you can call and find out, tell them, how things are going with you getting ready for their cake, and then find out also how they are getting on with their preparations. How are things going? If she has anything to complain about, you provide a listening ear, but basically just keep people up to date, and even after you've delivered the thing, you still call and um you call and you just keep in touch. Call and say thank you. Call and talk about what happened during the day, and everything, and express your appreciation. If somebody had made a comment or something that was compliments to the person, you mention it to them, that, oh, when I delivered the cake, everybody said it was so beautiful.